Hello. Hey, Blind Squirrel. Hey, Frosty. I'm just going live real quick just to, I don't know. I'm just like I just got off of the airplane. If you can't tell, because I look like a drowned rat, but I was just like too excited to sleep. So I just getting home from CrimeCon. I stayed a couple extra days and hung out with Crime Geek and Crime Geek's mom and their family, and it was so much fun. The lot's gone on since I left, so there's that. Like, try to adjust this camera. It's like weird. A lot's gone on since I left. Hey, Chris. Yeah, there's been some things coming out that I'm gonna have to spend some time on with the Nicole Bowen case again. So there's a Ashley Garth advocate now. So that's difficult. It's difficult for Miss Cheryl, and you guys all know how protective I am of them. And I tried to be as respectful as I could while commenting on that live with Ashley Garth. And I think everyone here pretty much knows how I feel about her. I think that but it really got me to thinking about, because and I covered it. It's not like I left it out, because Garrett he shouldn't have been out. He shouldn't have been out. He was charged, not too long before he killed Ray and Nicole with domestic battery, and then he violated that, and then he's let out on a bond again, and he kills two people. And that's the story with most of the delinquents. But Ashley is because you got to remember, like, I was there the day they showed her interrogations. I was there watching her and the way that she behaved from pre-trial, from the very first hearing to the end of the trial, and it just sucks that now I got to go back through all of that to hopefully prevent some kind of campaign and fund to get her out. Like, it's just ticking me off, and it'll probably piss people off that don't, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And just like what I told Greeno, you screw them over, I'm gonna go level 12 psycho on you, and I kept my word. But I'm not gonna just sit by silently and let someone spread around on all of the channels this Ashley Garth sob story. I'm just not gonna do it. Like, I don't, and I know that she can be highly manipulative, and but I was there. So now, because it's not like there was a camera in the courtroom in Kentland, Indiana. Now I've got to go and get all of the information, so that the truth can be out there, like the actual truth, and not the way that Ashley Garth has spun it. That she is not a murderer, because she most certainly is. And yes, you guys also know all of the advocacy that I try to do for victims of domestic violence. And she is a victim of domestic violence and at the hands of Garrett Kurtz. That is a fact. And she is also a murderer. And her hands were a part of murdering Nicole Bowen. So one doesn't cancel the other. It doesn't. And so, Lori James, like her attorney, they're trying to say that's ineffective counsel, same spiel. That's what they all try, her post-conviction relief, or not post, her first direct appeal was denied. And you got to look at the names on there. It wasn't just like the local, um, like, people that tried the case and judged the case. They weren't there was Todd Rokita, and then another very amazing, I think she's an attorney, for the state of Indiana, who reviewed the direct appeal and agreed with the courts, that the jury got it right, So it's just like, and this is the thing. This is why I always say, when my aunt was murdered, um, her killer, after, it took 6 weeks to find her body. Her killer came to her funeral, walked in the middle of it while the preacher was preaching, walked from the back of the church all the way to the front, put a red rose, took it out of the vase, put a red rose on her casket, walked out the back, picked up his nephew, and went into the woods with his shotgun and his nephew, and told him, "Go tell the police that I killed Tammy. I'm the one that did it, and I'm killing myself. And if you try to stop me, I'll kill you too." So the nephew takes off running. He goes and he goes to the police. He's confessed to killing Tammy, and he's killing himself. Well, the kid was so just, obviously terrified. He couldn't lead the police to find old Roger. So Roger laid out there and suffered for quite some time, which is justice enough. But members of my family and myself, until I really started to see how the justice system works, and how the rights of the victims are they literally come in like third, if in the justice system. And to have to go through with Roger, the years until it's actually adjudicated, if there's a jury trial, then the direct appeal is literally immediately after the judge sentences the person. And then you go into post-conviction relief, and then you have other appeals after that. We didn't have to go through any of that. Like, we were spared that because he killed himself. And I am glad that he suffered a bit out there, but it's just so, there are so many people that are wrongfully convicted, but it's just not her, like, do I think that they all should have been charged with conspiracy to commit murder? 100%. Talitha Beckley should have been charged with murder, in my opinion, and conspiracy to commit murder. The Palladino guy, he should have been charged with conspiracy. He wasn't there, so they can't charge him with murder, but they can charge him with conspiracy to commit murder. And so I get all those kind of things. But it's just it's upsetting when you've got someone that has a narrative, like they were trying to say that the hat that Ashley Garth wore in the interrogation, which I actually saw the whole interrogation, and it was just both of them, and they were just so ridiculous. She's a ridiculous, bratty person, and the hat was the exact same. It's a distinct hat. And then they tried to show a hat, like, no, this is the hat. And it's like, that's not the hat. Like, good try, but no, I'm sorry. I'm upset. If you can't tell. But yeah, I don't like to see my families being hurt. Hey, the Man Williams. Hey, family. Gray Pill. Okay, so you're here from Gray Pill? Yeah, I was just on Gray Pill podcast. Salute to him. He's a cool dude. I like going over there, being a part of conversations of just, things that are going on. And tonight was, about the kind of the efficacy of influencers and you know how that applies to certain people. And I have a lot of good times over there. And you know, like I love to be a part of a panel that we all don't agree, you know, but we can all be adults and it doesn't turn into like a fight, you know, it's just a conversation. You know, that's how you really change the world. It's just conversations, you know. He is okay. Yeah. Hey GP, hey Ray, hey Angel Bear. Good to see you. Um, hey Lake. Yeah, yeah. And then they're saying that the prosecutor touched the evidence at trial. Get out of here. Okay, it was like bagged, and then it doesn't matter, you know, like they literally know the rule, you know, they know the rules, and it's like that. But that's what she's trying to say. And then apparently Ashley is telling, you know, was writing her notes, and I'm like, why aren't you objecting to this? I'll tell you what. Lori S. James objected to just about every other word of that trial, you know, and it was just to the point where it's just like, I mean, I get it. You know, you put on the best defense for your client, but when they're blatantly guilty, like there's only so much you can do. That's not ineffective counsel. It's the simple fact of like it's what's happening with, you know, the case, the Delphi case. It's just, hey Tech Death, glad to see you. It's been a minute. I hope you're doing good. I don't think so. I don't. I don't think that Ashley was there or involved at all. But I am going to be getting a hold of. Um, I've got a little road trip planned to get some stuff, and we are probably going to have a channel fundraiser. I don't even, I hate saying that word, but I can't keep buying this stuff. Like it's $1 a page, you know, like I just don't have the money for it, but but it's important, you know, to do this for the victims' families. And so I'm probably am going to figure out some way to raise the funds to get all of the things that I need to get to put it to rest, you know, um, because I'm pretty sure they're raising funds to get her a better attorney, you know. So it's like, um, hey, Southern lady, yeah, CrimeCon was, oh, hey, Raggedy Susan, it's good to see you. I got to meet her at CrimeCon, so that was really cool. She cracked me up because her first question, I was kind of walking around a corner, not really paying attention. And then she was like right there and she's like, hey. And she was like, oh, you didn't bring Greeno with you? That was pretty funny. But yeah, CrimeCon was inspiring. And it was also inspiring to me in the sense of why I do what I do and just uh, the responsibility of this genre of YouTube, you know, and making sure that you're not always going to get it right. But I hope to get it right more than I get it wrong. And every time I go live, I always try to think of like when I read through my notes or my scripts or my timelines of like, if the family were watching or with me on this panel, would I say and do anything different? And at CrimeCon, the last day was a panel of Miss Becky Patty and Tara, Ethan Chapin's mother, Susan Hendricks, the author of Down the Hill, and something like Kerri Rollin. Is it Rawlinson or Rawlson? BTK's daughter, and Yeardley Love's mother. I can't remember her first name, but she has a foundation that she started um, uh, for her daughter was murdered at BWA. Yeah, Virginia Tech. I don't. From a boyfriend, and the domestic violence at such a young age, and it's getting even younger. We were kind of talking about that on Grey Pill of just the this normalization of control and jealousy and tracking and sharing passwords with that's just it's a disaster waiting to happen. That their young people think that that is normal behavior, and it's just simply not. But it was not really nice to meet you, Raggedy Susan. Hey, Willie D, what's up? I think I said hi to everybody else. GP, hello. Marcus Antonio Castillo, hello. How are ya? Glad you're here. Yeah, I saw you commenting in Grey Pill, so that's cool that you came over. I appreciate it. I kind of going on my own little rant here, but yeah, I did a whole series on the murder of Nicole Bowen and Ray Hainish. And so now it's coming back up. Somebody wants to advocate for her release from her 40, was it 40, 45-year sentence, 40-year sentence. Yeah. I'm sick. Ashley, Garth, and her accomplices have gotten so much stuff in prison that they don't need in their prison cells. Yeah. I think she got a degree for some reason. Like I signed up to get notified. I think it's through like Vine, but I got notified that she like got a degree, a college degree in something. Like our kids can't. Like our children can't go to college because it's too expensive, but inmates can. Like what the hell? Don't even get me started. Hey, Dustin. Yeah, girl. Right. Yeah. But you just only go so far. Like, when you did it, you did it. And like, what is happening in the world? It's like people are more sympathetic to the perpetrators than they are the victims and the victim's family. Yeah. I don't know. Upside down, inside out, backwards world we're living in right now. They was telling me that the lawyers sometimes like to change the suspects' minds by telling jokes. So that was the reason that it was okay for the laughs and joking around in court. Yeah, that my phone died. Like literally, I was on the beach, you know, and my phone died like in the middle of it. I did go back and like, but yeah, like they don't know because they weren't there, so they're trying to say these like broad, psychological reasons of why, and it's like no, like if you actually saw this horrific person that she is, drugs or no drugs, like you would you would get it. But to say that, like, are you, like, come on. Yeah. Hey, Charlotte, how are you? Yeah, finally caught alive. Hi, Colette. Nice to have you here. First timer. All right. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Um, our prisoners live better than good people in third world countries. Yeah, I mean, you've even heard old Reno be like, yeah, like, I don't mind free, going and get free dental, free medical, it's just like, you know, uh, I don't think that our prisons should be, just, I think that, I just think there's a line and of, they shouldn't be treated with neglect and like abuse and deprived, but and they should have opportunities to um be reformed, you know but uh there has to be like, especially when it comes to murder, like, this person is in prison because they murdered another human being, that human being is never gonna get to watch their kids grow old. They're never gonna get to attend a college, graduation, high school graduations, weddings. They're never gonna get to grow old with their husband and their family, and their moms are never gonna be able to hug and kiss them again. Their life is over, you know? And it's like, where's the balance there of reform and over reform, I guess, if that makes sense. Yeah. Um, hey, Uncle Fatty. Good to see you here too. Yeah, I was just on Gray Pill, and so it's cool that some of the people are coming over here. They're probably like, "What the hell is going on? This lady is just something." But yeah, welcome to the true crime world. It's crazy over here. Hey, dangerously active. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you for coming over. You guys are awesome. Um, Yeah, I know, I know. And that's what, that's what just really, upsets me the most is they have been through, their families have just been, you don't even understand the the what they have been through, and the just the neglect of them throughout the whole, from beginning to end, it was just so horrible. And then y- you've lost your child, and now you got to plan a funeral the day that and that was what they were talking about on that panel. Because I went and I actually did get to meet Miss Becky and Tara and the other, um, um, during the meet and greet. You could have them sign something, and the lady was like, "Do you have anything for them to sign?" I'm like, I just like I cannot do that. Like I got to draw a line at like signing something. Maybe Susan Hendricks, but I did get a picture with them. And then right immediately after that, they did. That was one of the last sessions that I attended, and they were talking about that as just Ethan's mom. He was an Idaho. I'm sure you guys all know an Idaho for when the massacre there from Coburger, and he was a triplet. And just before the murders, they had gone there for parents' weekend at college. And she said that when they were on their way home, her and her husband high fived. Like, we did it. We set everything we set out to do of how we wanted our kids to turn out. Like, we did it. They're good kids. They're getting ready to get their degree. They're kind and happy and everything that we ever wanted for them. And then Coburger happened. And then the day they get that call, you have the before murder life and the after. murder life. And this is completely gone, and this is completely new. And I think that Kerri, BTK's victim, she said it the best of like, there's the day that he was just my dad, and I had all these memories, and he walked me down the aisle, and he was just my dad, and we had normal, nothing. And then the day that I got the call that said your father is BTK, and she was like, I was just so out of left field. I was like confused, and I thought that maybe something happened to my grandma, and they're like, no, your dad is BTK, the serial killer. And she's saying how like everything changed, and every single, and Miss Becky, she said, um with this just hurt my heart, when they were searching for the girls, they'd gotten um the call that they'd found him, and she was just excited, like, oh go, just like, and just taking off, like, they found him. And then when she got to her friend was just like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And that was a moment that everything changed, to know that they've been found, but they have not been found alive. And then she also said something else of just like, for 2 years, her and Mike were they lost, not only did they lose Libby, but they lost all of the memories that they could have built up with their other grandchildren, and because they were trying to get justice, to find the person that murdered Libby, and it's just like, it's so life changing, like, there's we can empathize with them, but we can't sympathize. And I'm really glad that they have each other. I got to meet Gabby Petito's dad. That and let me go back to the thing that was said from the panelists with Kerri. It was like, you can either let this, it's that choice of like, get out of bed, like, or just live in this bed, or make the choice to get up and get out and make a difference. I'm combining um, Ethan's mother's what she said with what Kerri said, and it's a choice. It's a choice every day of, how am I going to make a difference for the future? And just but yet for all, but and even Kerri, now she's pulled right back into it, and they're trying to get her to get more information out of her father. um all but Miss Love, is still in, just all of the hell that they are going to have to go through from this day forward. It doesn't end, like, it's just the worst. But that was my favorite, and I did, when I met Miss Becky, I did tell her, I said, I live in Indiana, um, and I do have a channel, but I mostly cover Greeno, and because I feel like that's the way that I can help you, because that was questions that were asked, like, how can we help, and I just said, I feel like that's the best way that I can help you. And she was so cute. um just like, well, there's more. I'm like, send me a list. I don't know if that was her that said that, or Tara, but yeah. And then, just talking to Kerri, who is just a highly intelligent, well-spoken. She, the forks, she knows what it means to give your forks to something and when not to. Like, she gets it. And just got to talk with her briefly too, and and she was just talking about the sensationalism and the clicks and doing it for the wrong reasons. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is. There is a ton of those, and literally just like we're standing in line, and who do I see? Not in line to meet them, thank God. But old JLR, got his big media shirt on. I don't know what is possessing like literally we're just normal people. Like we're just this is I'm literally in a bedroom like with a camera. Like I'm not anything. Like I'm not a journalist. I'm not an investigative journalist. I'm not media. I'm not any kind of, like so yeah, he's back there, it's just like, just go away, just go away. Because Delphi is just because when I think about it, I just think about what um the people that loved Libby, the people that loved Abby, um, have to go through every time um something gets released, and it's just hey chaotic, good to see you. Been a minute. I didn't get you anything because you never responded. Yeah, well, she's crazy, that old Talitha. Healthcare is bottom of the barrel. Education is online and usually gifted to the state pen at a tax write-off, as most are. Indeed, yeah. She was talking to her dad about oil changes and car stuff, and 24 hours later, her dad was BTK. Yeah, I can't begin to imagine. Yeah, yeah, that's but man, she's really is a badass. Like, I really enjoyed her. And she was like, "How do I get my bangs to do what you do?" And I'm like, "Well, I do hair and I cut them every week." Yeah, exactly, Ray. Yeah. Hi, Danny. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. And you can I mean, because when I think about like if something I think the resignate, just that with Ethan's mother, of having college age kids, and then so just really like you think about, and then my daughter is the same age as my oldest daughter is the same age as Libby, so th- everything that Taya has done, and just watching her become the beautiful person that she is, um that that ended that day, and her thing was, with so talking about all the ways that they've given back, or tried to make a difference, and the park of her heart for the park was just that no one forgets, she's not going to get to make her mark on the world, and just to have something that is positive and fun and useful for other families, and to have a place where she knows that Libby and Abby are not going to be forgotten, and just trying to. I'm going to take a minute here and read through some of my notes, but see you later, French. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, Southern lady. You can say murdered here. I hate unalived. I've had to stop watching people that say it because it just immediately takes me off, but feel free to use it, call it everything that it is. Because to me, I find it disrespectful to um, the victim's family. I find it disrespectful to care about this algorithm more than I care about being respectful to them. So say murdered, say, if someone is raped, they are sexually assaulted. I don't care. I don't care about if I have to change words and say deleted and unalived and essay and ARP or whatever. And to have these keep the monetization or lose my channel or whatever, then buy. Like if that, I'm not going to do it. And it just, it is super irritating. We're in this genre because people are murdered and killed. That's like that's it. Like I can't handle it. It literally is like a total pet peeve of I'm just not going to do it. And I'm not going to go on a panel where I'm expected to do that. Like I'm just not going to be a part of it. You got to kind of have you got to know what you stand for, and then you got to stand on it. And I can't. I mean, I have friends that say those words, and it's not. I'm not like a personal attack on anyone at all. It's just a personal thing for me. I can't get down with it. I hate everything about it, and I think it's ridiculous that um it's a thing. You should see the amount of words that you can't say. Like it's and most of them are just so politically driven. Like it's just irritating. Like, yeah, you're using this platform, and when you use it, you know that you really can't have free speech. So, but if I don't forget, if just I'll find somewhere else to be. Hey, purple puddles. um Sasha Groening's family are great friends as well. Okay. Oh, 05. Okay, I'm not familiar with that one, but um hey, Aspen, I think I said hi to you, but hello, sir. I miss you. Based not to leave the state lines except for his First Amendment rights. Hey, Danny, by the way. Hello. Mayo, thank you so much. Book money. This is the one I was reading on that. I was going to show you guys my books. This is the one I was reading on the airplane, Real Life Monsters by Stephen Giangelo. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. But he is a professor, and he actually teaches um, a college course on. He's a forensic psychologist. I can't remember exactly, but he teaches at, I believe he said Illinois. Yeah, in Illinois. Um, but he was the current, well, and this book, this is one of his older books. I don't know if this is, but he was special agent supervisor for the Illinois Department of Revenue, Bureau of Criminal Investigation. He was formerly a senior special agent with the same agency and also served on task forces for the Illinois State Police and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. He holds a master's degree in forensic psychology from the University of Illinois at Springfield and graduated from Illinois State Police Academy. He's also an adjunct instructor at the University of Illinois at Springfield. He previously published Psychopathology, the The Psychopathology of Serial Murder, A Theory of Violence in 1996. But I got to meet him and speak with him. And, you guys know what I asked him. Like, did you have a coworker in your class? And he did say that he did. He had one that every time he turned in a paper or an assignment or spoke in class, that it just got to be the point where he finally had to turn them in. Like this guy is here to learn how to be better for his fantasies. He's here to learn how to be better, which is, I think, what Coburger was doing. But that's one book. And then I did go back and get Broken, because it just seems like fun. But it's the guy that it's a true crime, but about a horse. So I'm excited to read this. And there's like a whole interactive thing that you can do. So once you've read the book and like if there's a podcast too, he said I should read the book first. Then you can go on and be a juror and actually see like what would be your verdict. So that's kind of cool that it's interactive like that. And then I got Hunter of the Damned. Yeah, this was the one from the Homeland Security investigator, special agent, retired special agent Kevin Laws. So I think that's going to be a good one. And I was going to go back and get the Down the Hill. But when I looked it up on Audible, I saw that Kelsey narrates parts of it. So I'm like, yeah, that's kind of cool. Like, I'd rather do that, so I'm going to do that on Audible. But thank you, Mayo, for my book money. I'll probably be using that for my papers. I've got, they're $1 a page. I don't know if they're $1 a page across the board, but I got to go to a few different counties and collect a ton of stuff. And I just cannot keep spending more money than I have on this, like I just cannot do it anymore. But I want to help, I want to prove, which is crazy that the jury, like people think the jury got it wrong. Like now I'm going to have to prove Ashley Garth's sentence was the correct one, because she's found someone to get out and advocate on her and go on all these different shows to kind of gather people. But they're getting one side of the story, like at least when I gave you the story, I gave you all of it, because that's how you do it. Like, never one time said Nicole was perfect, her family even talked about that. They talked about her and Miss Dottie having that conversation about the fact that Nicole was likely came to that party that Garrett hosted, while Ray Hainish laid in the other room, murdered, like, and when you hear it in the podcast chronologically and with message backed up, like, we didn't leave any of that out. We didn't make it all sunshines and rainbows, it was the truth, the whole truth. And it was cold. Every lead affected the family in her new, oh really? It was so hard to read, knowing the crazy places the Delphi case has gone over. Yeah, I bet. We are all made from the same space dust. We choose to separate and divide ourselves. Universal negativity hold us together. Choose love. Yeah. That reminds me of I was reading this on the airplane. That I think I underlined it. Talked about I start every book with the idea that I want to explain how this 7 or 8 pounds of protoplasm went from his mommy's arms to become a serial rapist or serial killer. This is my drive and my compulsion. I think a crime book that doesn't do this is pure pornography. Thought that was, this is the preface of this book. So, he gives you kind of a why he was drawn to this. And that was the one that was really cool. But yeah, it was. Uh, this is good. I'm already hooked into reading this one, so we're gonna go with that one first. Um, I thought it would be Get You Can't Now. I don't if yeah, if that gets me canceled, then you know, yeah, yes. Well, thank you. Like 100. Yeah. Hi, Ivy. All righty. Yeah, it's just it's and how things become like what do you call that? Like nails on a chalkboard. Ugh, that's how it's come. Anytime I hear like deleted or unalived, I'm just like or roof or R or SA. I can't. Yeah, of course I'm gonna jump on. Like I said, like the families that I started with, like I'm still involved. I'm not gonna, just go away to get to the next story. And and that's just the sad cold truth um of the true crime. Everybody wants to hear about the cases that are, the main ones, and I just don't want to do it. I don't want to. They have all of the attention that they need, and what could I add? And my channel is so small. Like what, so it's just not my style. Like I I I want to cover what I want to do what I want to do. And if enough, if I I think if I could just be consistent, um but if the subscribers don't come and I can't make enough money to pay for not going in the hole, then so be it. I'll cancel. I won't stop. Like everything will still be on there. Like I'm not gonna like delete everything, but like it's just I have to do I have to do what I can go to bed with at night, because I only go to bed with myself. I know that sounds kind of weird, but you only go to bed with your own head and the choices that you made in a day. And there's some just things that you can't, I'm not going to compromise on to make a buck, I'm just not going to do it. And so we'll see. We'll see. But I do have the time now, and I'm really going to um, start to try to find a schedule that people can count on, because I think that that's a big thing of because when you do grow, um you can advocate and help more people, and you could get the right things out there, and cover things not by making it, not by sensationalizing it and all of that. So if it takes tons of long time to grow, then so be it, Oh, thank you, Purple Puddles, for the super sticker. How did I miss it? Like, where is it? Maybe I'm like so far in the comments. Um, oh goodness, I am back there. Oh, of course not. I don't like her. I don't. Nobody's gonna make me. I was going to get a picture with her for a friend. Um, she was like, "Yeah, I know you're not gonna want to do this, and you don't like her, but will you?" And I was like, "If for you, I will." But then I never saw her there. Like, I legit did not see Nancy Grace one time at CrimeCon. Her booth was the first thing when you walk into podcast world. It was like right there, but she was not at it at all. So I don't know. Um, hey, Lisa. Oh no, what's going on? Yeah, it sure does. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, dude. Or dudette. Uh-huh. Ethics versus money. Yeah, most choose ethical life, not Tucker. Can't show or get some of the paper. She can, but like, yeah, maybe. I just know that the court documents, like, I need to pick them up for White from the Wright County Clerk, and I know they're a dollar a page. So, Lord, and I have a friend that has already volunteered to go with me in person and then to help me digitize all of this. Because that's the thing with, like, when I covered them originally, like, I had this huge filing thing in there. It's just hundreds and hundreds of papers. Um, and none of it's digitized. So it's like gotta like uh organize what I already have to figure out what I need, but I need like the court stuff, you know. So it's going to be a matter of going not only to the clerk of courts in probably 3 or 4 counties, but it's also going to be going to 3 or 4 different police departments, probably the state police. And we thought of one other place that we would need to go. That more than likely, Miss Cheryl will have to do some of the other things. Um, oh, good. She reads it herself and it's really good. And Kelsey reads the foreword she wrote. Oh, okay, cool. It was so personal and honest. Yeah, I really did like Daisy was right. Like when as soon as I saw Susan Hendricks, I knew who she was. And I think she is one of the ones that like she ethically like covers and to do her job as a investigative journalist, like I think she does a really good job. I knew advocate arguing that got wrong. Listen, I get so much. I don't hold on. Let me just pop over. Oh, hopefully you can't hear that. Hold on. Can you guys still hear me? Let me know. And it's another one of those things too, of using the Delphi case, using re-victimizing Abby and Libby for Ashley Garth. to get people to pay attention, a girl from Delphi, you know, the Ashley Garth case. So I'll just read you my comments because um I started because my phone died, so I had to go back and listen to the end of it. So these are just rebuttals. So I don't know if this will help. Hiddle is a career criminal. He helped law enforcement to get them all arrested. He also had an open case at that time, by the way. And then I said something to him. I tried to be polite. I also came to love Miss Cheryl, and I hate seeing her hurt. She has been through hell. And then I say one more thing. Talitha Beckley should have been charged, which I already said to you guys. Let's see. To answer your question, because my phone died, he asked, what was it that attending the trial and all of the pre-trial, hearings, that made you believe that she was guilty? And my answer to that was the evidence presented at trial that I attended was overwhelming in its totality. Number one was the forensics, followed by Ashley and Talitha's interrogations. Ashley's attorney did a good job, in my opinion. She is not incompetent at all. Most defendants have public defenders. Are they all bad? No. Ashley had a fair trial. And, they're hanging on to the fact that Garrett's testimony was why she should be released, and she's not the murderer that she is. And I feel this, and this is how I feel. Garrett's testimony was definitely not the smoking gun. And in all honesty, after his testimony, I was worried, and I thought the defense did not need him, and it could have backfired. I also watched the jury, and they took notes and they asked tons of questions. This wasn't some, sleepy courtroom where, everybody's just walking all over Ashley and her attorney. That's not what happened. And then the evidence was bagged, and it doesn't matter. This is a courtroom with a judge and a prosecutor and law enforcement and her attorney, and what? Why? And then people in the chat are like, we need to get that rope retested because they think that, the touch DNA on the cord doesn't mean that she choked, literally pulled on it around Nicole's neck to the point that it broke. Her DNA was on that. Her DNA was on the tape, the scar, every element of the things that killed Nicole. And then it's like I heard her new, advocate say that but the reason that her DNA was on the tape was because earlier Garrett had asked for, the tape, and that's probably how. Just come on, you can't believe this convicted murderer over the jury, the judge, the prosecutor, the detectives from state, local, and county. But you're, gonna believe her. And you can read Lori S. James. She's an attorney, and you can read her. She's in good standing. And you can read her her things on the direct appeal. And then you can also go and read her direct appeals and the other cases that she's tried. She's not what they were trying to make her out to be, like some dimwit that just sat there. No, this girl, she was on it. She objected, and she knew what she was talking about. And the letter was a big deal, that it should have been put into evidence. But you got to remember, there's an open murder investigation, And they wanted the whole entire courtroom in its totality to hear this open letter. And they were like, no. Did the judge did they not let her submit her evidence letter that she got from Garrett? No, it was just that it was excerpts from it and leaving out the part about the murder that had nothing to do with this trial and didn't affect the jury's decision whatsoever. Like it would have been moot, you know? This is so frustrating. And that's what I said. Take a look at the direct appeal. One of the people on here or two say they're lawyers, and this is so typical. And like, everybody's feeling sorry for her. And here we go, Miss Cheryl. I'm going to put this out there right now. I'm Nicole Bowen's mom, and I would like the opportunity to correct you on some things you have gotten wrong in the last podcast, because this is the second one. I've heard her on 3 now, by the way. And she has a right to, like a right to free speech, but I also have a right to a rebuttal. And I'm going to do it. And you guys know how I do things, real anally. So that's what you can look forward to in the future. Hey, Divided Kingdom. Good to see you. Oh, there it is. I was way far behind. Thank you, Purple Puddles. That was very sweet of you. Good reporting on the Moscow, Idaho murders. Yeah. While it was fresh on the minds, not much follow up. Yeah, that was the other, like one of my, yeah, talk about a case study of Casey Anthony. Good Lord, like just the pathological, in my opinion, pathological liar, just like, wow, and they're just that where they're just like that still don't even get it, that they don't even, it doesn't even say, but they just like will lock down, like lock in to the lie. It's just would be prosecutor help. What does that mean? Just in general, are they admitting she was there? Huh? Trying to say that she didn't have anything to do with the murder of Nicole. Yeah. Please. And then, a lot of people were like, well, what was the toxicology on Nicole? She was the drug addict. And I was like, yeah, we all talked about that. We talked about that on my podcast. The family talked about it. Like, we know. So just kind of like, again, the whole victim blaming thing. And Cheryl and Miss Dottie and all of them were point blank honest. Her sister, like that Nicole, they really felt like, and even, they talked to the detective. She wasn't trying to hide anything to make her daughter seem, like it wasn't like that. Don't make it out to be something that's not like that we're hiding the truth because we're all wrapped up in our feelings. You know me better than that. But that she was likely at some point at Ray's. Yes. I don't know, but I trust Cheryl and like, does it, does her, he had a bunch, he invited a bunch of people over. He killed him. He admits to killing him by himself. He admits to murdering him, just him alone. And then he throws parties at Ray's house and steals his car, So if all of that stuff comes out, like, does it has zero to do with Ashley and her part in the murder of Nicole. The motive is moot. This was a big thing of like the motive of why Nicole was killed. You don't have to necessarily prove that, but she was murdered. She deserved to be murdered. Like, so like, I don't know. It was just so, ugh. It's after midnight here. It is here too. Yeah, like, well, yeah. I hope I'm a good kind of crazy, but yeah, we get a little crazy. Who are the other people that she was talking about that was going to testify for Dirty Ash? Oh, so okay, this was another good one. So Talitha was, I got to go back and look at the scripts and things I wrote at that time for him to even speak on that. But Mikey Hiddle, he was a state's witness. So the advocate for Ashley is trying to say that he was going to get on the stand, perjure himself to proclaim, like he was going to proclaim Ashley's innocence, that she, it's like he was a state's witness. He turned all these fools in, and more than likely to get a deal. If you look at his record, I can't prove it, but when someone is facing some serious charges and they turn a bunch of people in an unrelated case, murder case, and then all of a sudden they take a plea deal and they get time that they would have never got, that they shouldn't get, then obviously, like, he probably had his own, and this, and you're staking your whole, like, advocacy off of a career criminal too, to boot. He's a thief and a liar. Like, come on. But now him and Ashley are telling the truth now. Breathe. No, I said I'm gonna do it anally. Like, I'm anal. I'm anal retentive. So when I cover something, I cover it anally. So yes, I did. Oh. Hey, Gray Pill. Yeah, I'm trying to hold it down, but I'm feisty. I'm mad. I'm mad today. I'm mad. And it sucks because I was like so like on such a high from CrimeCon and like just of how amazing it was. And then I get then this, it's just like, gosh. But this is it though. Like, and for me, I'm just like, it's just affecting me. Um, and this wasn't my daughter. I'm just their friend, and like I've tried to help them all along the way and be there for them, and try to tell the truth about what happened, and to get justice for Nicole and Ray, and to shine a light on the before murder, the after murder, what it's like for the victims in the unsolved, in the missing, in each category of real crime. When a family has, like, my one with Charles's mother. He's missing. He's been missing since the 80s, late 80s. So you're getting a glimpse into what it's like to be the parent of a missing child, and then an unsolved with Shannon Polk, a cold case, unsolved, and what it's like for them, and then with Nicole, and now Ray, because Ray started out in that like weird category that I never thought that we would be trying to fight with, freaking, in my opinion, a bigot, racist man. And I'm so glad he's not in office anymore. So now we've got a new one. And guess what? As soon as he took office, as soon as he became the prosecutor of White County, for one of the first things that man did was have a grand jury decide if they had enough to move forward with charging Garrett Kurtz with the murder of Ray Hainish. What Robert Guy refused to do, and the way that he treated that family. Can you imagine being told that something like this is bound to happen because of the lifestyle that your son lived? Think about that. Think about the most I'd sue him. I would literally, if I was them, I'd have sued him. I'd have sued that whole county. I'd have sued Garrett Kerr. I'd have sued them all for wrongful death and whatever else I could come up with. Get, uh, ugh. Yeah, Aspen, I need to find those. Can you send them to me? The ones that he did with um Sonny? Because I don't know if there was more than one, but I know that he talked on your guys' channel, and I need to watch it again. Yeah, but I think I'm one of the only ones. I'm not only. I mean, there are probably some, but some people on Facebook too. That got old Ashley's Facebook screenshotted before she took it down. Um, this was her April 5th at 2:10 before she was caught. And we deserve some good after all the shit we've been through. March 23rd at 12:47. Um, these last couple of months, I've been the realist. I've got a wake up call, had my heart broken, got my shit together, lost the person I thought would be in my life for a long time, went from being friends with everybody to keeping my circle small and staying low key. I've learned that nobody is really down for you like you'd think. Like, who gives a shit, you dumbass? March 23rd. I don't want to die or kill myself. I just want to disappear until I feel okay again. Me, 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 me. Oh, March 19th. Interesting. Isn't it scary knowing that any time could be the last time you talk to someone? Always keep that in mind. And then I also, which I didn't leave out. This is the proof that I felt like the reason that Ashley Garth was not at Ray Hanish's house was the post she posted about the screenshots of Garrett's phone. And I'm not going to read them on here because I've got to edit out a bunch of words, and I don't think I might mess that up. But she says, here's even more evidence he's a word that I don't like. It's a derogatory term, for someone being gay. I'm not going to say it. And so, was that you on Garrett's phone? And she's like, "What? I'm not with Garrett. Are you talking? What are you talking about?" So Garrett stole her phone when he tried to choke her. And so, and then she shows where he was on Grinder. Which I also found that's interesting since Ray was targeted on a gay dating app, which to me makes it a hate crime. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, I've got, I don't know where I probably under. And I'll never forget the day that wicked witch came into court. She knew that she was getting out on bond, No one else knew. That is something that rarely ever happens for someone in the state of Indiana anywhere. There's no bond on murder, but you can ask for a meaningful bond hearing. And then the burden is on the state to prove that they have enough within reason that you would be convicted from a jury of your peers. So the prosecutor, the victim's advocate, knew, and the defense, and she knew that she was gonna be getting out. And I don't know if you can see it, but she had her hair cornrowed on one side and all out, looking all terrible. But this is the girl that showed up that day, and she knew what was going to happen. It was a deal, so she knew. And she's sitting there, and then the judge goes to call Detective Rowe to and he's walking up there like he's, this is getting ready to happen. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, wait, the prosecutor said, we've reached a like an agreement that we're gonna let her out on bond. And this wicked witch had the audacity I have a spinning chair, right? These are like big, courtroom, gaudy, like wooden padded, court, just imagine. And she takes that chair and she spins around like this because the family's sitting right here. And she smirks at them and stares them down and then flips her head back like, got you, like, you had to be there. You had to see the arrogant, just nastiness of her. And then and then they're saying, oh, well, if she was chuckling in the courtroom or blah blah blah, like it's probably because of this. And I'm like, no. She did, like, one of the thing, like when we were leaving one day, and like I don't know if it was a judge or the evidence, or I think it was Garrett, his testimony that definitely was not why the jury convicted her. I promise you that. It was the evidence that convicted her, the facts that convicted her, not his testimony. And then, so she's all mad, right? And she's wanting to huff down the stairs. And the courtroom is like super small, but the staircase is, like wide. It's wide. It's about this wide. If you could see my fingers, they're out here about a foot off the screen, right? And so she's mad and she's wanting to storm out. Well, I was just not going to let her. So I just had my bag and had my hand out on the rail, and I was just getting in her way of her little storm out session. And so she was huffing and puffing, and then she busts through gets around me and busts through the door, and she's outside and just, just being ridiculous. And like I thought her family looked embarrassed, in all honesty, like to have to put up with her shenanigans. They seemed embarrassed, and they just kind of followed her around, because she's free to roam wherever when court is not in session. So anytime there's a break, like the family can leave the courtroom, and so can the convicted, they're about to be convicted murderer. And then the other one was, okay, like we're standing outside, you got the courtroom steps, and then a sidewalk. And then like a path to the sidewalk, and then there's the sidewalk, and we're parked, here, and I'm parked here, and Cheryl's parked here, and we're all kind of all of us, are kind of congregated in this one area with plenty room to, we weren't like in the way of anyone, right? And she could have walked anywhere because her family started to walk because like coming down the steps from the courtroom, there was a little pathway that led off to the right, and then the pathway that's straight ahead led down to the sidewalk, to the curb, to the cars, right? Oh, but Ashley didn't want to do that. So she just walks down and walks just right by the family, just in her, and you just gotta see, you just had to see her. Like it's more about the expression and the hostility and the arrogance and the just like bombastity of her. Like she's just, ugh. And then like we went in somewhere to eat, and she's sitting there with like her family, and it's like they were just like they just like we left and found somewhere else to eat. It's just like it was just the things like that of just the way she conducted herself in such a horrendous manner. Not on drugs, can't blame drugs anymore, like. And you're also talking about a career criminal herself. It's just, I know you won't. It was horrible. Hey, True Crime Recliner. Good to see you. Yeah, I know. I'm really happy about him too. Mm. Yeah. But that's the thing is like, you guys are actually stand-up people. Did you guys know that they're, hell, they might get upset, but um, these are the families that have donated hours and hours of their time to the Abby and Libby Park and made that happen. These are the kind of people that they are. Yeah, I'd like to. Every one of us would have liked to tripped her, punched her, but like these are good people. And sadly, Nicole never got to. I've talked about drugs. You guys know how I feel about it. I talked about it, I think, the last episode of just there's the before you take drugs, and the after you take drugs. And sometimes there is no out. There is, they are, all of the people, you never set out to be like, yeah, I think I want to be a drug addict. That sounds like a good life plan. And no, what happens is you try it one time and then it's got you. And now you're run by it. And most of the times you die by it. But it is literally, drugs are the heroin and meth are literally, in my opinion, Satan. And it's unfortunate, that she never had the opportunity to be the person that she was before drugs, and to make that step into sobriety and live a sober life, and be the person that she was meant to be. It's sad that Melissa, who I got to meet, never got to be the person that she was meant to be. Or Tyler, you know? Man, parents, whatever you do, don't gloss over the dangers of drugs with your children. Have honest and open conversations. Show them the pictures of what drugs will do, because these kids, they think, kids think they're invincible. And, oh, sure, it's at a party, like, oh, yeah, let me try meth, like, and then they think that tomorrow isn't gonna be completely rearranged, because they don't know, and then they try that, and then that moment
literally changes the course of the rest of their life. And most of them don't make it out alive, you know? So please, please, please talk to your children about the dangers of drugs. Show them the streets. Well, now it's getting real bad. They're just out, they don't have to go very far, but TikTok. Show them what happens. You know, do you, this is, you know, you try this, you get hooked on this, and you're going to still, would you ever imagine yourself have these conversations? Can you imagine stealing from your mama, your papa, great grandpa, great grandma, your aunt? Can you imagine going into their bedroom and stealing their jewelry, breaking in their house and stealing their jewelry? Can you imagine prostituting yourself for you know? Can you could you picture your face literally looking like you are a zombie? Literally like heroin addicts look like a wax, you belong in a wax museum, like you've been embalmed. And then meth like literally makes you look like you are the walking dead, like you're literally a zombie because you're decomposing but you're still alive. Like would you ever want, like, because this is the importance of these. Do you know, smoke a little weed, have a drink responsibly, cover your drink, make sure no one can put anything in it. But like, have those conversations with your kids. Make them get it as much as you possibly can, because they will make you leave your children. They will make you be the worst parent in the world. They will make you steal from your family. They will make you abuse your own body in sexual ways that you had never dream about doing. You know, you never thinking of this, digging around on your arm, trying to find anywhere that you can stick a needle in between your toenails, in between your toes, just anywhere in order to get that fix. Make sure your children know that. Don't shelter them from that. Please. Yeah. Sorry. Um, but yeah, sorry. Now I'm really a mess. I'm gonna turn my camera off. Anybody have any questions about crime? I'm going to do some in-depth, like I took a ton of notes for each session that I went to. So we're going to do some um, probably tomorrow. I'll probably be live tomorrow. Do some fill you in on what I learned at the sessions that I attended and really kind of break them down. Tonight was really just kind of like, I thought I was just going to come on here because I was in a good mood because I was on Gray Pill podcast having a great time and I was in a good mood. And then I came over here and like just um started talking about stupid Garth, of all the people that you could like advocate for. Like, why? I mean, do you know who really should be out is Summerell. Like Mark Summerell. He is someone that really does not deserve to get life without the possibility of parole for shoplifting. He's not a murderer. He's not a rapist. He's not a pedophile. He is none of the heinous of heinous, you know? Like he's got a criminal record. Yeah, he got in trouble. He got in trouble with some coke, like not even enough to get you. It's not a dealing charge, you know, and he robbed a couple places. He stole a jacket from like a Kroger, you know, and this poor man has been locked up, and he will be locked up for the rest of his life. Why don't you go advocate for someone like him? who really does deserve to have a chance outside of the prison gates, you know? But she deserves every day, every hour, every second of the sentence that she got justly. That's all I know. But I'm going to prove it. Oh, Mayo became a member. Thank you. And remember, members, like you are members because you support, like, what I do. I wish I had time to do. I don't feel right about covering a case that needs um that needs because I feel like we as a community, our role is to to try to help these families get the attention of the bigger families, yeah, not families, of the bigger media outlets, in order to, because it does, when you put pressure on politicians that answer to their, constituents and their, lobbyists and all of that. When you put pressure on them, all of a sudden things start happening. Things start getting done. And everybody's just like, oh no, it doesn't work like that. I'm like, yeah, it does. It's a game and you got to play the game. So our role is to get these cases heard. Like Kimberly Moreau. This poor man, her forefather, these a small town too, Jay, Connecticut, just covered it. And then Digger Dave, I didn't know that he had a channel. I mean, I was subscribed to him already, but got to hang out with him a little bit on Sunday night. He did an episode on Kimberly. Just as poor, no one, those are the cases like that. And I'm not going to do that on members, so members are just for people that do just want to they support what I do and they want to help me make a difference. Um, but I'm stretched so thin, and I can't get any thinner really. Yeah. Yeah, and literally it was because they gave Garrett, what was it? Was it 50 or 55 years? And he literally said, I'm not gonna give her more than him. So he gave her, was it 40 or 45? Yeah. Yep. 6 grandbabies without mommies. What was that? Did you guys hear that? Hi, Daisy. Hold on just a second. I know it literally sounded like someone was pushing on the door to try to get in. But it wasn't. It was something fell. I don't know. It's weird. It was kind of loud, but I am turning my camera off because I look like worse than when this started. So if anybody has any last questions, I was like, no. Sorry. Don't go towards the door. Don't worry, I'm armed. I loved CrimeCon, Reclina. I loved it. And I feel like I loved it for the right reasons, of just that, um,
I think I say it pretty much in my bio. The truth about real crime and the creators that re-victimize victims and their loved ones. I'm not law enforcement, a prosecutor, or a judge. They're the only ones tasked with the responsibility of serving out justice. My goal is to advocate and raise awareness for real crime cases that do not make the headlines and whatever else I feel like getting on about. Um, that's what I'm about. And then I know on the podcast, my opening is, of just like trying to emphasize that the before murder life and the after murder life. And you're a part of a group, a family, a new family that no one wants to be at CrimeCon because they are the parent or loved one of a victim, and like when I went up to Gabby Petito's dad, and shook his hand. That's what I said. I said, I hate it that you're here. I hate that you're here. Um, but I'm glad that you are, because they really are doing amazing things already with their foundation. They're helping um, preventative real crime, which everybody always gives me shit about what I do with Fork and Greeno. And keep on. You guys know I don't care. I literally don't care what they say. I'm going to do what I want to do, and that's what I want to do. And I view that, in my opinion, that is preventative real crime, you know? And it's preventative also in the fact that he's going to start contacting families again, and he's going to start doing all this. He's going on all these big channels, he's getting his subscribers up. He doesn't have a genuine bone in his body, but he has that superficial charm that makes you think he does, that makes you think he cares. He doesn't care. um um For anyone considering spending the money, did you feel the value or reward you got from CrimeCon was worth the cost? I did. I did. And um I didn't even, because we neither one of me and Crime Geek we're definitely not like get it together in the morning. So we didn't get there, we missed some of it. Like I didn't even take advantage of all of the things that my money could have got me, but even still, it was worth it, to shake the hand of Barbara Venters, to shake the hand of Catherine Ramsland, and um, gosh, why do I always forget her name? Anne um, Burgess, just um, to see the impact in person that these deaths, these murders have had on these families, and to be reminded of why I'm here and why I do what I do, that right there. And then I mean, you guys know I hadn't really been on in a while. I just was like, I just took a long break, and it was just I just like, you feel like it's like a uphill battle of like try to do the right thing and nobody watches, you spend 75 hours building a timeline and trying to do something that makes a difference and nobody watches, you know? And so you just kind of get like, is this even, like, what am I doing? Like, am I even helping anyone? Like, and so, but going there and like, it definitely reminded me of my purpose and what I set out to do when I decided to do this. Because remember, when I decided to do this, it was because I got pissed off that I couldn't get anyone to cover Shannon Polk's case. because it wasn't late breaking headline news. Nobody wanted to give it the time of day. And I literally did all the work for them. I put everything, I put the pictures in there. I sent them literally the whole entire case file. Like all they had to do was read it and show the pictures. Like, and I can't even get people to do that because, it's not going to get them money and it's not going to get them views and it's not going to get them ad revenue. Um, Not all. Great Hughes covered it. But the rest, no one was interested until they found out that there was going to be a vigil and that there was going to be, Associated Press there and Dateline wrote an article. And then all of a sudden people started paying attention, but now they're not anymore. And so that made it worth it, and then just reminded me of um, the silver lining of all of the family that I have now, Ginger and Cheryl and Cher and Roxy and Dottie and Haley, and I mean, the list just goes on and on. Crime Geek's mom, like beating her. I mean, it was just so awesome, because that was preventative, like just everybody all of my Lake, HCC, Amy, like the list just goes on and on. Crimezilla. I mean, it's just Ivy. I could literally just name Aspen, like I could go on and on and on and on about all of the amazing things that have come from being on here and putting, myself out here. And yeah, there's been some crap along the way, getting doxxed and threatened, the lives of my children being murdered and me, someone, coming for me when I'm talking about Greeno, that anyone would give anyone that would literally write to multiple people. It's not like I'm the only one. That he was gonna like, I'll kill your kids, like, and then he's and then you're gonna give him your money and your time. Uh, make that make sense. It makes zero sense to me, how someone that is a career criminal in so many facets, and he is a violent career criminal. His history is that. And I just want to say this right now, just so this is on the record of, if one thing that in the pattern that they do is they try to get ahead of their crimes or their trouble. And so I guarantee you're going to start hearing him. I've already heard him once, but he's going to start spreading this everywhere because he's done it before. That's how I know he's going to do it again. But he's going to start saying, oh, I'm scared to have to go back to jail in Delphi. And like, if that happens, if I get a warrant or a summons or whatever, and I have to go back, like, they're going to kill me, because he's trying to convince, he tries to convince people that him calling them out, like, he can't even prove that he got, like, with the Flora thing. Like, he can't even prove that. But, and he's made it all about him, how he's done all this, and he's going to end up the next one dead, like Amber Green or whoever else, like but I guarantee you, here coming real soon, probably by like October 26th or so, he's gonna be pulling this on you. So just just, you heard it here first of what his plan is to get people to feel sorry for him and to think that, he's yet again being wrongfully persecuted. No, he is a career criminal. And don't forget the video where he said that he literally weighs out, like, if I do this, is it worth doing a couple years? Like, so he's like literally thinks about it ahead of time, like, yeah, I could do a couple years for this act that I'm about to do, this law that I'm about to break. But the simple thing is that there is no conspiracy to get him back to Delphi and have him murdered like he will have you believe, and he will try to get your money. He'll try to get your money that way. The simple fact is he refuses to pay his child support, and you know, they're the department, that division, the child support division is gonna, you got to pay it. You got to pay it. That's just it. But he's above that. He's above the law. So that's the truth of it. Okay, that's the truth. Um, so when he tries to pull all that, just know that it is not some big conspiracy that he's made it out to be, to get you to feel sorry for him and to give him money, because he pulled that before. He's pulled that several times, and he even used Nicole and Ray's cases to get bond money one time. Like, um, yeah, just don't buy into it. He is a habitual violent offender. That is the cold truth. And I am so fed up with other people like giving him a platform or giving him the time of work and day. Like, what, does it matter? Like, I literally don't think, like, if he killed someone on a live, people would still find it. He would find a way to make it that it's not his fault. And then people would freaking believe it. Like, they'd be like, oh, of course not. Oh, you're so great. Like, what in the world? And the thing is like, especially going to CrimeCon, um, if he went to CrimeCon, like, he thinks he's famous. He's popular. Um, no one respectable would even shake his hand. Like, he would have a booth and there would not be a soul there. Like, he's not like because he's the ones that Kerri was talking about, the grifters and the cons that prey on the victims of this community. And we have I feel that we have an obligation as members of this community. If you are here for the right reasons, you have a responsibility to not allow them to flourish. The Greenos of this community, the con men, the grifters, the domestic abusers, to the ones that just blatantly, threaten to kill people, that literally write that they're serial killer, like all the things that he's done, all the lies that he's told. Yeah, he's future sheriff my ass, like, so bull. It's just a never ending circle of madness. And he is not a victim of anyone but himself. He only has himself to blame. And I was watching, he was on Zab Girl, which I don't give two forks about her either. But she's got a large following, right? And of course he's on there because he wants to get money and subscribers and members and to get super chats, and that's all what he's all about. He wants to give you what you want, that no one can see the manipulation, and just that one line that he says all the time is beyond me. But yeah, pigs fly. Like, it's just, no one credible would give him the time of day. But he's superficially charming, and so he can trick people into believe. And just that she sat there and he didn't prove a thing. He didn't show one single thing that backed up all of the stuff that he was saying. And she was just buying it hook, line, and sinker, like, and that's another sign to watch out for when someone drops everything that they think that they're going to be able to impress you with in the first hour of meeting them. Run, run. Yeah. Yeah, me too. You need to go. Next year it's in Tennessee. And I also found out I got to meet someone that I was on Get Vocal with. He did he was the one that is the name. I always freaking forget because there's a couple that all sound kind of alike and I don't want to get the wrong one, but um was it Up and Banished or um but he covered the Stephen Pankey victim, Marshall. I covered her as well. Um, Payne Lindsay. He was there. He's not the one I'm talking about though. I love like Payne Lindsay is he's he's pretty awesome. I love his accent. He's a cool dude. He was there. Um, no, this is I think he's covered like more Murray. I know he covered Matthews, and that's the one where Panky like became a member of his channel, like the killer of the little girl. Um, but if you look that up, you'll be able to find him. I got to meet him, but he was telling me that there is every year it's pretty new, but every year it's just podcasters and true crime like podcasters and YouTubers so it's just like basically just podcast row of CrimeCon. So not all of the events and sessions and stuff, but that's once a year. So I'm gonna find that and look into it because I think that would be really cool to go to too. Uncle Fatty. Sunlight is the best antiseptic. Call them out. Be louder. My nephew, Tony, says, fork 'em. I say fork. That's my F word. But yeah, some of them, like, I'd be like, man, like, I know, because I listened and like follow so much that it's like hard, like, foul play was there. And then that, like, well, I shouldn't have said that, but yeah. Well, thank you, GP. And I love you right back. But yeah, I think I'm done. So unless anyone has any last questions. But yes, I definitely think that Aspen, I think that you would love it. You would really love it. I think, and you would love it for the right reasons because you have the right heart. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll probably see you tomorrow. I'll try to not look like a drowned rat, and I'll try to be a little bit more polished. We'll see. All right. Good night. Have a good one.